Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Punisher Season 2. I am wearing today my Punisher shirt because it is Sunday, and that is the shirt that I wear on Sunday. I'm a fan of the Punisher as a character overall in the MCU. I loved every appearance he has been in. Yes, whenever he has been part of a crossover though, it's not really been the best. You know, Daredevil Season 2 wasn't really the best season of Daredevil. Then he appeared in Born Again, which was a mess sadly enough because the original Born Again was garbage and they tried to fix it, but still kept some of the garbage along, so it didn't fully work. And here he is in his standalone second season, and the first season I very much enjoyed. I really liked that season. I've heard some people say that it was boring, but not to me. I was always locked in, and I am the same with this season as well. I was fully locked in throughout the whole season. A big fan of this season. There are some problems with this season, and that is the fact, well, there's one main problem. Let me just get that out of the way immediately. There are 3 moments where Frank is supposed to kill someone, and he doesn't. Look, the fact that he didn't kill Billy Russo at the end of the last season, it makes sense because obviously it's Billy Russo. Technically, comic book wise, Jigsaw, and they want to make him Jigsaw, which we'll talk about that when we get to that actor segment. But I did not mind the fact that he did not kill Billy Russo, but there's 3 people in this season that he does not kill where it's like he should have just killed them. But that is really the only problem that I can really think of with this season specifically. So then let us get straight into it, shall we then, with the cast, boys. And of course, we have Jon Bernthal back as Frank Castle, aka Pete Castiglione, aka the Man of the Year, and also the Punisher. By the way, I'm saying Man of the Year because this is 2026, baby, the year of the Punisher, because he is in 3 MCU projects, that being Born Again Season 2, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and also the Punisher Special. By the way, I am recording this in July, so if anything changes, I don't know about it yet, but it's his year, man, and Jon Bernthal is fantastic as the Punisher. I could not think of a better casting in a way. Look, I love his screams. I know, by the way, that the Punisher has been portrayed by like 2 other people in the past, maybe more, but I know about 2, with Punisher and Warzone, but that doesn't matter to me. I still think Jon Bernthal is the best at portraying Frank Castle. I loved him in this season. His yells are especially perfect. Absolutely. You love to see the man work, like Billy said last season, but you also love to hear him yell. He is just fantastic throughout this season. After that, we also have Ben Barnes back as Billy Russo, aka Jigsaw, especially Jigsaw in this season, and that is where I have a little bit of an issue with. And that is the fact that he is too pretty. I will say it right now. Like, Jigsaw's face is supposed to look completely messed up, and it doesn't. It doesn't look messed up enough in this season. I know that in this season, there's a guy who's like, oh, Jigsaw. It's like, he doesn't really look messed up enough. It should have been a lot worse. Also, I know that plastic surgery nowadays, or just surgery in general, is able to do wonders, but I don't think we should give that type of surgery to criminals. Just stitch them up so that they can live and stand trial, but we don't need to have him look pretty. However, there is a love interest he has in this season, and he wouldn't be able to get her without looking somewhat still like the pretty boy. But overall, Ben Barnes does a fantastic job outside of, you know, the whole messed up face. He did fantastic in this season. Like, you actually feel bad for him because the whole point of last season was the fact Frank messed him up and let him live because he was supposed to live with what he has done. Irony called because of the fact he forgot everything and he has amnesia. He doesn't know anything that really happened basically after like the military days, but I think before the shady military days. So he doesn't remember anything. So he's basically been kind of like, as you could say, softly rebooted because he doesn't remember everything, but the rest of the people do. And I love the way that Ben Barnes portrayed that. I loved it in the vulnerable moments. Like, you actually, weirdly enough, still feel bad for Billy, even though he is just the worst. But you still feel bad when everything comes crashing down because it's like, yeah, but this guy doesn't remember everything. And that's kind of the weird stuff with like the whole amnesia plotline where it's like, should he still be guilty for all the crimes that he committed because he forgot them and he basically got a soft reset? So should he still stand trial or not? Like, that is the difficult part. And also Frank has some difficulty with that as well in this season. Next up, we have Amber Rose Reva as Dina Madani, once again returning, and she's great. She's great in this season. Really like the way that she had just such a vendetta against Billy Russo for, you know, kind of, you know, shooting her partner, having a relationship with her even though he's the baddie, and also shot her partner, and then also kind of, you know, the thing that would make a woman really mad at you, and that's kind of like the thing called shooting in the face. Understandable, but the way that she hates Billy Russo so much, I love the way that she portrayed that, and also just it messed her up. and I like the way that Amber portrayed it. Then after that, we have Jason Armour back as Curtis Hoyle, and he was great in this season. Loved him. So then, let's get into the new characters, shall we? Starting off, we have Josh Stewart as what some people may call the main bad guy, but I will not, because that is Jigsaw. But he is basically, in order to extend this to 13 episodes, that type of villain. We have him as John Pilgrim. He basically gets sent after a girl because of the fact that she has some photos that people rather not want leaked. So Pilgrim kind of needs to take care of that. And I like Josh Stewart in the role. The way that he is such a god man in that sense. Praying and all that stuff. Doing everything because, you know, the Holy One asks kind of thing. However, he can mess people up. That is also what I like about him. Because he doesn't look intimidating necessarily. But then when people gang up on him, he beats everyone up. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, so you are intimidating. And I liked him in the role. Then after that, we have Floriana Lima as Krista Dumont. Billy's therapist. And that's as far as I'll go. But yeah, Billy's therapist. That is basically what she is. And she becomes very involved in this season. And then next up, we have Georgia Wiggum as Amy Bendix. I don't even know if her last name is ever stated, but she portrays Amy. And Frank basically becomes the Punisher again because of the fact that he needs to save her. And they start to form a father-daughter relationship throughout the season. And I love the way that they handled that. I also really like Georgia's acting. Thought it was great as well. Loved her in this role. But like I said, her interactions with Frank Castle are just great. I love the two of them together. And then finally, this is not actually on the MCU Wiki as a main cast member because I'm actually just reading this off the MCU Wiki, the people who played it. But I still think he appeared enough in this season to be mentioned. And we have Royce Johnson back, which actually is a character that I don't think I've mentioned since Daredevil Season 1. But he's back as Brett Mahoney, appearing in what actually feels like a majority of this season. And he is still fantastic in the role. He is just a good cop who wants to see justice done. It's just with a character like Frank Castle, sometimes justice gets a little bit blurred. But I still liked him in the role very much. He is great. Can we have him back in Born Again though? I would love to see him return in Born Again Season 2. It would be fantastic. And that is the cast. And overall, I thought everyone did a really good job. I really like the storyline in this season. And the only real problem that I have is the 3 people that survive, basically, that should be killed. Also, I think actually that was during this season. I didn't know which season it was, but I think it's this season because of the way that they portray it. Anyway, I think John Bernthal actually had a real life injury that they play into the early parts of the storyline of this season. Big fan of the way how they did that as well. And it's just Frank Castle going crazy. I love the kills that they do. It feels a little bit less violent though than the last season, which I will say is a little bit of a letdown as well. So then let's get straight into the final verdict then. And it might actually be different than what you actually think, because my final verdict for Punisher Season 2 is going to be a 9 out of 10. It's a low 9. I still think that this season is not as good as the first, but I really enjoyed the season. And also, I will say this, the Punisher Netflix series is, to me, the second best Netflix show out there. Because while, yes, Jessica Jones Season 1 clears both Punisher seasons, yeah, that doesn't really change anything, because Season 2 isn't really that good. And I haven't seen Season 3 yet, so we'll get into that eventually. But so far, Punisher is my second favorite series in the Netflix Marvel era, and I thought it was fantastic. So let me know what you guys thought about Punisher Season 2 in the comment section down below. With that being said, thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. And if you did, please like button, subscribe if you're new, if that's already. Turn on notifications, don't forget to check out the Let's Play channel, link in the description and at the end of the video. And I'll see you guys next time for a big farewell to the Netflix era, at least continuity wise within the MCU, because we are back with the Drunken Woman for the final Marvel Netflix season, Jessica Jones Season 3. Bye!